This conference will now be recorded.
Right. See, if I want to switch my workspace in the Eclipse, what you can do is go to File and switch workspace, and here choose the workspace whatever you want. So yours is Selenium underscore Kusum. Just select it. Yes, Srivijaya Sudha, please keep it in mute, madam. Right. So this is what we did yesterday. Yesterday we have set up the Eclipse plus Java combination, and we have seen how to create a Java file, and we have written one small basic introduction program and how to execute. That is what we have seen. Just a second, I'll be back in few minutes. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be back.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Now, how to add the Selenium standalone server jar file into your existing project. See, Selenium standalone server is provided by some different peoples. Now you are adding that jar file into your Java project. So we are using this Selenium standalone server to work on browser automation. You are developing Selenium automation using Java. You already created Java project. So if you want to utilize the Selenium functionality in your Java project, you need to add that jar file into the existing project. Then only you can use it. Now, how to add this third-party jar file into your existing Java project? Okay, so what is the navigation? Navigation to add jar file in the existing project. Yeah. Right click on the project. Right click on the project. Next. Go to properties. Next. There is a Java build path. And then click on libraries. In the libraries, there is an option called add external jar file. And then click on add external jar and then browse the jar file and open it, and then finally click on apply and close. So this is the navigation you need to follow to add any jar file in the existing Java project. Today you are going to add Selenium standalone server. After some time in the coming future, you are going to add some more different kind of jar files for different purpose. So whenever you try to add any jar file, you have to follow these steps. So this is your project. Right click on the project, go to properties, Java build path. See, there is a tab called libraries. So click on that. So here there is a button called add external jars. So click here. Now you need to add that Selenium standalone server. So which is present in the that Selenium underscore Kusuma. This is your workspace. Under that there is a folder called lib. So this is the jar file. Okay, just need to browse it and then select the jar file and then click on open. Now apply and close. Apply and close. Apply and close. Now see, here we have another section called reference libraries. So whatever we are adding the external jar files, those jar files are showing under reference libraries section. All those things and all, it is going to show under reference libraries section. By default, SRC and JRE system library. By default, SRC and JRE system library will be created. Now, whatever we are adding, some third-party jar files, those things and all, it is going to show under reference library section. Okay, so that's why this standalone server is showing under reference library section. Okay, so I'll remove it and I'll create once again. Okay, let me do once again. Right click, build path, remove from the build path. Okay, so what is the steps? Right click on the project, go to properties, Java build path, libraries, add external jar. So browse the jar file, click on open, apply and close. Okay, now this file is existing under reference libraries. So now Selenium with the Java combination is ready. Yeah, any doubts?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Sudha, Srividya.
No doubt. I don't have any doubts.
No.
Hey, madam, please at least respond in the chat session. Yeah, thank you. Right. Right. See, how is the hierarchy in the Selenium? See, to work with Selenium, we are adding Selenium standalone server jar file. So this is what we are adding it. Under that, it contains so many packages. Under that, it contains so many packages. Right. And each package is containing several classes and interfaces. Each package is containing several classes and interfaces. See, next. Each class or interface is containing so many methods. Each class or interface is containing so many methods. Next. Each method is performing specific task. Each method is performing specific task with respect to the browser. Okay. See, while doing or while implementing the programming using Selenium, we need to use different methods according to the browser action. According to the browser action, we need to use different kind of methods, and each method is performing a specific task. Each method is performing a specific task. Let's say if I want to open the browser, or if I want to open the application, or I want to close the browser, or I want to get the title of the browser, or I want to click on the button, or I want to click on the checkbox. So each and every action is performing by a method. Okay. So ultimately we need to use different methods to perform the actions. Now this method is present where? These methods are present under a class or maybe interface. Now go from this step. If you want to use the method, you need to use either class or interface. If you want to use this class is containing under a package. So you have to use this package. So if you want to use that package, in Java, we are going to use import statement. You are going to use import statement. See, in C, C++, you are using hash include stdio.h, right? So similarly in Java, we are going to use import statement. import and then package name. Okay. So what is this package? In simple term or simple layman term, package is nothing but just a folder. It's a package is nothing but it's just a folder which contains a group of Java files. See, let's take one project. Take one hospital management application. In the hospital management, it contains different kind of modules like emergency, billing, registration, pharmacy, and then uh, OP, inpatient. Like that, you have different kind of sections. So whenever the peoples are developing the hospital management systems for one hospital, just like that, they will not implement the project. First, what they will do is the total application they are going to divide it into multiple modules, and each and every module is separated, and each and every module is going to taken care by some different peoples. Whereas some of the peoples they are working with pharmacy, whereas some of the peoples they are working with billing, whereas some of the peoples they are working with inpatient. So like that, they are going to divide the project with different modules, and each module there are certain peoples will be working. And finally, once they implemented, they'll combine all the modules. That means they'll integrate all the modules, and finally they'll make the product as one hospital management system. So similarly, in Selenium also, whoever is implemented this Selenium standalone server jar file, what they did is on the browser side, they have like n number of features. For each feature, they are going to separate it as a module. And once that module is implemented, they'll test it, and once all the modules are implemented, they'll combine it, and finally they made it like one executable file like this. In Java, whenever they try to, or once the application is implemented, they are going to provide it in the form of either jar or var or ear .ear. Like that, they are going to provide it some different kind of executable files. In Java, they are making like either jar or var or ear. So the Selenium peoples, they are made it like with .jar. If you take like C, they are making as .exe file. In C++ also similarly like that. If you are taking like C#, they are making as a .dl. Okay. So the module, inside the module, how they are implemented is they are implementing as a package. In terms of Java point of view, whatever the module they are trying to implement, they are making as a package. So for that module, what are all the requirements and what are all the functionalities? All those things under they are implemented as a separate Java files. So all these Java files they will combine and they'll try to make it as one package. In simple term, package means it's just a folder and which contains different kind of documents, different kind of files. Whereas in terms of Java point of view, package means it contains a folder which is a collection of Java classes and interfaces. See, each package is containing several classes and interfaces. See, in Java point of view, program implementation is going to taken care by classes and interfaces. There are different concepts, okay, that you are going to see in the coming sections. Just remember, package means it's just a folder which is using for to implement a specific module. So like that, for the project point of view, they're going to have a number of modules. So in terms of Java point of view, there it contains a number of packages. See, if you go and see the expansion, the Selenium standalone server jar, just click on this arrow mark. Now see, each and every thing. So this is one package, this is one package. So under that, the Selenium peoples, they provided a number of packages like this. So finally what they did is they'll combine all these packages and they try to make it as one kind of jar file. One kind of jar file. Okay. So this is your executable file. This is your executable file. Yeah. Any doubts? Simple basic structure.
The methods you said for a class, right? Are these like built-in methods or these user-defined methods?
User defined method means if you are going to define by the programmer, that is called user defined methods.
Yeah.
But we are going to use it which is already defined by the Selenium peoples. So for us, those are all the built-in methods.
Okay.
So we are going to use different kind of methods like get, close, find element, find elements, get title, like that you are going to see. So all these methods are provided by Selenium. So all these methods are provided by this Selenium standalone server jar file. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. See, so that's why what Selenium is providing is Selenium is providing APIs. Simply, we can tell that APIs means it provides methods. API is nothing but it's application programming interface. That means these methods are already defined by someone, and those methods we are trying to utilize in our project. So such type of things are called application programming interface. So what Selenium is providing? Selenium is providing, that means the Selenium standalone server jar file is providing methods. And those methods we are trying to utilize in our project. So Selenium is not a tool. Selenium is just provides APIs. See, if you say tool, QTP is the tool, Relorex is the tool, RFT is the tool, Silk test is the tool. So all these are all the tools. Inside the tool, there are different kind of features. We are going to utilize it. But here the Selenium, what it is doing, it is providing one jar file, and that jar file you are adding to the project, and based on that you are going to work with Selenium. Okay, so Selenium is not a tool, it is just providing APIs. Okay, remember this point. But for normally in the generally what people are call it as like, okay, Selenium is a tool which is using to automate browser related application, but actually inside this it is providing as a jar. This jar, it contains so many classes and interfaces, and each class is containing a number of methods, and each method is performing a specific task. Yeah, any doubts, madam? Right, Kusuma?
Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt, sir.
okay,
no
thank you.
doubts.
Right. Now the question is, okay, we should use method. If I want to use this method, I should use the corresponding the class or maybe interface. Okay, now the question is how to use the class. Remember this point. How to use the class. This is the question. So we are going to use different kind of methods. Okay, perfect. If I want to use the method, you should use the corresponding class of that method. If I want to use a particular class, that means the corresponding class, what I have to do? If I want to use the class, we should create an object for the class. We should create an object for the class. We should create an object for the class. Now the question is, for single class, how many objects I can create? Note. For a single class, I can create a number of objects. You can create number of objects for single class. See, in Java, the total implementation of program is going to taken care by class. Without creating a class, you cannot work on Java file. That means you cannot create Java file without creating a class. What is this class? Okay. In simple terms, to understand it, A class is a blueprint. What is the meaning of this? Let's say whenever you are trying to construct a new house or any building, before that, first we are taking the planning. So in the planning document, it says, okay, in the east direction, what it could be, and in the west, and in the north, south, all these directions, and where you need to construct your bedroom and kitchen, bathrooms, all these things and all. So how to construct it? Each and everything will be represented in that planning document. So similarly, class is also a logical entity. What it defines? It defines characteristics and the behavior of the object. Let's say you are trying to define a person using class. Normally, the person has name, age, height, weight, color. These are all the characteristics. The behavior or maybe actions, all these things and all is represented in the form of methods. Each method is performing action, like how he is walking, how he is talking, running, walk, playing games. So all these things and all is implemented in the class itself. So as a class, what it is representing, it defines the characteristics and the behavior of the person. Okay, you just implemented it, but you are not telling about a particular person. See, these are all the, you define the characteristics and behavior of the person. If I want to talk about a particular person, let's say if I want to talk about like a Ramu, where is Ramu? And where is the Ramu details? And how Ramu is working or how Ramu is talking? So all these things and all, if I want to talk about a particular person, then I should have the object. So whereas class means a logical entity, whereas object means as a physical entity. In simply, the blueprint, that planning document is the logical entity which defines the actual characteristics behavior of the construct building, whereas the actual buildings and are objects, real objects. Okay, so in terms of Java point of view, the program implementation, everything is taken care by class. Okay, but without creating an object, you cannot use that class. Without creating object, you cannot use that class. Class is just defined, but how will you bringing into in the live? Whenever you try to create an object of the class, then only the class will be utilized. Otherwise, though you implemented the programming in the class, without creating the object, you cannot access it. So similarly, Selenium standalone server is providing a number of classes. if you want to use those classes in our programming, first point is we should create an object of the class. See, inside the class, as I told you, it defines characteristics and methods. So if I want to use that method, I should use class. How I am going to use that class? Once I create an object of the class. So once object is created, then I can access the methods and the variables of that particular class. So without creating an object, the class will not create for that class, memory will not be created in the memory. In the Java programming, whenever you try to create an object of the class, then only memory will be allocated for that class. See, without allocating the memory, the class will not be loaded in the RAM. See, ultimately, the program execution starts from the RAM because RAM is the primary memory. So if you want to execute anything in the computer or laptop or whatever it is, that should be loaded in the RAM. When it is going to load it in the RAM, ultimately once the memory will be allocated. So when the memory will be allocated for the class, once you create an object of the class. So without creating an object of the class, you can't access the methods of a particular class or interface. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No. No, sir.
Not yet.
Okay. See, the Java is object-oriented programming. As part of object-oriented, we are going to use different kind of features like encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. So like that, we are going to use different types of object-oriented features. So each and every feature is implemented with the class and interfaces. And you have to remember one basic point. In the object-oriented programming, it's not only Java. If you take any object-oriented programming, the total implementation is going to taken care by class. So if you want to use that class, you have to create an object of the class. It's a simple. You have to create an object of the class. Without creating object, you cannot access it. The total Selenium automation is going to depend on class and object. Based on this statement, you are going to work with the total Selenium automation. It's a very simple. But once you understand the basic and core concepts, it's just a cakewalk for you. Nothing. You are going to create objects only for classes. Other than classes, you will not create object for any other concepts. Remember this point also. You are going to create objects only for classes. Other than classes, you don't create any concept. See, let's say I told there is something like interface. So for interfaces also you cannot create an object. So you are going to use different types of concepts, but ultimately you are going to create object only for classes. So you are going to work with the classes and objects. But what is the relationship between these classes and interfaces? So that you are going to see in the coming sections. Okay. So here to start working with WebDriver, it's not only start, but the total entire Selenium automation is depending on the class and objects relations. Okay. So now, how to create an object of a particular class? The next question is how to create an object of the class. And how to access a particular method of particular class. So we will see the basic programming. We will start seeing the programming from tomorrow onwards. Before that, we will see how to construct an object for the class, all these things, and I will see. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts?
No, no doubts.
Yeah. Thank you, Saira, Kusum. And Srividya and Kusma, I sent the recorded sessions last 3.
Yeah, I received it. Thank you.
Yeah. Hope others able to get the recorded sessions from your training desk people. Rosie, Saira, Sudha.
Yeah, we are getting.
Okay, thank you. See, what you can do is download each and every day session and keep it in your local, in your system, and then start watching it and then practice it. Okay, don't everyday session, download it, because you never know when these sessions, it's not going to be they will not keep it for like a long time. And see, due to some constraint problems, storage constraint problems, they may remove, not immediately, after some time, after 3 to 4 months they may remove it. So don't expect always it will be there in the cloud.
Okay.
So okay, the best thing is download each and every day session and keep it in your local system.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.